Alright. Where's my glove? There's my glove. Gonna get my glove. Okay. Oh no, did I turn it off? Oh wait, no I didn't. Oh no. Alright. 3B is probably good enough. It's weird how bad I am at keeping track of the most basic things, like a pencil sharpener. When I was just using it last night. I was just using it last night and I lost it. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, I got these new pencils. They have a squirrel on the front, which is why I bought them. Try a 5H, even though it's a little soft for what I'm doing, I don't really care. So yeah, my yoga mat's wet because I actually went to go yoga across the street, and then this started coming down right as I was getting out, and I only had to walk like 50 yards through it, but it got soaked. But whatever. Let's see, where is this one? I guess I just never added this where this should be. God, all this hair. Alright, so 5H or 3B. I guess I'm gonna do 5H. See, one issue, I did buy these recently and they're mostly pretty good, but they're way, like this is more like a 3H, which means that it's a little darker than a 5H normally would be, which I don't know. I don't think it's a standardized thing. Maybe this brand is right and all the brands that I'm used to are wrong. I don't know. I don't know who invented the 6H to like 12H scale or whatever, or 12B. Should probably poke out a little bit on down here with some of that. Yeah, I was looking at this earlier today, and there was something that I looked at, and I was like, "Oh, I should do that part." I'm not sure if I can remember what it was. I remember looking over here and being like, "Okay, this is like this, but then it can wrap around and then be like that, where it's like coming out the other side, and it's like." Reverse belly flop or whatever, I don't know what you would call it, belly side up. And then like it was these shapes that made me like think that this is not exactly a perfect one-to-one, but you can kind of see where this is coming from. I should probably just darken this. This should probably just be like flat. I'm just gonna have to base these kind of, luckily these like creases aren't going to have to match up perfectly. It's fine if they don't. It really does not make a difference at this scale. Yeah, there's another thing. There's another spot where I was like, oh, that needs a whole other shadow, and I can't tell where it was. I didn't think I need to erase this part though, for sure. Yeah, I should actually check to see how this is even getting the right angle, because I don't even know. Yeah, I guess that's probably good. I don't know. Oh yeah, I added those iguana reference pictures to the Google Drive and I never printed those out. I guess that's just gonna have to wait till tomorrow because I don't feel like turning on my printer now. I had a busy day. I did a whole lot. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just tired. I ran a bunch. I don't even know how much. I ran a bunch though. Maybe like, probably not like a crazy amount. It was like 6 miles or something, but like, yeah, I don't know. Tired me out. Did yoga, a whole bunch of other stuff. Went to Walmart. That was exhausting. You think running 6 miles is exhausting? Try going to Walmart at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday. Ugh, it was actually fine. I've seen it way worse. 2 p.m. on a Friday. Holy shit. Oh my god. Alright, I'm spending too much time on this. See, this is the problem, is I can get so easily sucked into any little section. It would totally be worth it, because I could, you know, just spend forever working on this piece. But I kind of don't want to, and I kind of don't think I have to. Like, I don't know. I enjoy it, and I don't really know at what point I'll decide I'm done with it. It might be one of those things where I just... Like, I'm kind of willing to say that, like, like, this whole section is basically what I need it to be. Like, even this is, like, really... You know, this is pretty rudimentary. It doesn't look totally convincing, but that's just what I need it to be before I do the charcoal wash. This, it looks like it's getting obscured by the smoke. There's going to be smoke. That's going to be the liquid charcoal. The head, I don't know. This needs a little bit for sure. I'm going to be honest. I got this design. Let me see. Where did the here. So this was, well, I guess I don't have the original here still. Yeah, I guess I got rid of that. That was the very first sketch I did, is kind of out of date. But this was the second sketch that I did. As you see, the eyes are like so bulbous here. in comparison to over there. And that's because in the original, in the very first sketch, I did the cliche thing where I had like the skull orbitals where the eyes were sunken in. And I don't remember who I was watching talk about, but some YouTube video, some person somewhere was talking about how in the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies, they did this, Weta Workshop had a rule where you weren't allowed to have creatures with sunken in eyes because it was cliche. And I guess because nothing in nature looks like that. And they had a rule where all their animals, like the cave trolls and stuff, had to have bulbous eyes. That's why all the creatures in those movies have bulbous eyes. And I thought that was like such a good rule. And I tried kind of enacting it there. And it's cool, but I decided to sort of, I don't know. That's just how it turned out. You know, like, I guess I don't really think too much about what. I just do like one version and another version and another version. Every time I do another version, it gets a little easier to just feel it out or whatever. All right, so this goes in front and then all of a sudden it goes behind this one. I think this looks way better, so I'm going to erase this. And just be a little, you know, who cares about it. Ah, see, that looks great. I don't even have to add anymore. It's just a highlight. Liquid charcoal, baby. It'll wash all of this away. Maybe, I don't know, probably, if I use enough. I don't know how many test runs I'm going to have to do because I'm going to have to sacrifice some panels of Bristol to test the liquid charcoal because I'm also using this gouache, using this gouache, which is like a very thick white watercolor or liquid charcoal. It's like the same wet medium, but it's like solid white. And I don't know how that and the charcoal interact, so I have to like test it out. But I've already tried that a little bit, and it seems like it's kind of tricky. I don't really know what I'm doing. I've never used a whole lot of these mediums. I think I mentioned some other video or like the first one of these that I did. I don't usually use charcoal at all unless like I feel like I really have to. It's coming down again. Look at that. Neat. Oh, this is where I was looking. I was like, I should really shade this section in. I knew it was eventually just going to come. I was eventually just going to stumble onto it. Ooh, this is tricky. This is a tricky one. This doesn't look right. I might have to, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to make this part really blurry because it's near the edge of the image and because it's going to be very dark. If dark objects near the edge of the composition, it's usually a pretty good idea to just blur it out or blur it up, whichever. These be a little angled. Yeah, as I go, I'm going to have these, I don't even know what you call them, these stomach ridges. They're going to be more like at an angle as I go, just because it looks better, honestly. Maybe even kind of like give it some irregularity here and there, and then it just kind of gets like squashed. All right. See, I got a problem here because I darkened this so much. I don't really want to darken this that much, so I kind of gotta figure out. I mean, it's kind of to be expected when you when you're drawing a pencil piece that you're going to use an eraser to like layer things, because I'm going to have to go back over. There's certain types of marks that you can only carve out with an eraser. You can't lay them down. And the idea that like an eraser is something that you're supposed to use for mistakes, it's like not really. It's like kind of not really how it works. You kind of have to expect to use an eraser like a bunch. Like you have to expect to go back and forth between an eraser and a pencil, because an eraser is just a pencil but in reverse. That's it. You know, like you're still making a mark. Like, you know, this is still a mark. Like I'm still making a thing. You know, it's just the thing is light instead of you know, in this case mid-tone, but in other cases dark, you know? Because this still isn't really that dark. This is still like, I'm basically just laying down mid-tones. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make this pop out more, and it's kind of difficult to do. It's kind of difficult to do because it's like, can't really get it that dark without kind of causing the, they're not called whiskers, they're called baubels. But I gotta make sure the baubels stand out. Gotta make every Waldo akimbo, you know what I mean? I'm sure you don't. I'm sure nobody knows what that's a reference to. I could explain it, but it's too stupid. You should use your brain cells for other things. See, so like this, I'm probably gonna end up making like this section, this right here. This is probably gonna be shadow. I'm probably gonna lay that down pretty soon. But I'm also like hesitant because it's like, I don't know. I feel like some of this just isn't turning out how I wanted it to. In other ways, it's turning out way better than I wanted it to, or way better than I thought it would. So I don't know. This is still a preparation. Barely even started on this yet. I really should focus more on over here. I might even move the lamp next time I draw, because I could probably call this whole side basically done. Because it's just like, how much of this do I really want to work on? How much of this do I really have to work on? By a certain point, too much detail is too much. Much too much. Ugh. The problem with these is I have to like draw over them. You can see like the lines are overpassing, so I have to go through with the eraser again later. I'm not even gonna bother because I'm just gonna keep plowing through it with these light texture pencils. All right, time is now. Where was I? I knew I was gonna lose my spot. Screw it, I'm gonna go all the way over here. I've been neglecting this side of things for far too long. Get over here. Yeah, this works. This works. Controversial line here, but I support it. It's a load-bearing line. I don't know what's gonna go there, but it'll be something. Gave myself a break, 15-minute break, recharge, threw on Superfly. All right, we on. I don't know if I can draw with that on. I might have to mute Superfly, unfortunately. I don't know if this even has a mute option. Alright. It'll be good to just know that it's on behind me. Using up my electricity. It's good to know that. I bet you heard that. I will say, about 5 minutes in, there's a chase scene in Superfly. It's one of the best edited chase scenes that I think I've ever seen in a movie. Every single cut was just like immaculate. Does this need to be? Yeah, sure, whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna stop myself sometimes and be like, does all this need to be down here? And then I remember like, oh yeah, well I'm just gonna erase most of it if it doesn't, so whatever. My kingdom for one solid 7-foot long piece of paper. Man, these seams. It's fine. It's better than nothing. I wonder what they're talking about. Where is he gonna get 30 keys at that price? I might not ever know. I probably will know. I think I'm actually gonna watch that later. Whenever the camera runs out of energy, I'll start watching it again. You know, I may just decide that this entire side of the piece, except for this, I mean with that, and this, and this, and that, and some of that. Gosh, I really want to say I'm done with this part, but there's just so much more that I need that, like, I could do. I don't know. I'll come back to it later. I'm just gonna do this a little bit, even though the light's low. Shoot, what's going on there? I guess I can figure it out. Just wasn't what I was hoping for. Kinda rough with this one. Chew right in there. Just chew right through that. You know what, on this side, I think I'm gonna let myself get really messy with it. It would be nice if one half of this composition just looked like muddy garbage. That's what I'm looking for, is the muddy garbage aesthetic. That means this line must go. Yeah, see, the issue is also I still need to, like, there's these arms that I need to work on, and then I'm just remembering that canonically there's supposed to be like sets of arms like here or like just wherever, like periodically. So I need like to draw at least like 3 or 4 total, and one of them is going to have to be way over there just for balance reasons. Or maybe I can just have 2 over here and none over there. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. I'll just add them later. It doesn't matter. Guess this just goes like this. And this whole section, I'm just going to darken this whole corner because whatever. When I get to the liquid charcoal, there can just be big dark splotches all over whole sections of this composition for no other reason than that there's going to be like a lot of smoke and debris and just moody brooding, you know, just general moody brooding. You know what, man? I hate art. You know what I love? Beer. I hate fridge. I love art. Back to art. Damn. Yeah, one thing I'm not sure if Superfly is a pro-pimp movie. I'm not sure if there were many pro pimp movies, but I think most movies of that genre are decidedly anti-pimp. I don't know. I guess I'm neutral on the pimp question. Disregard that. When I think of blaxploitation movies, I very often think of the movie Willie D, which is like a late stage blaxploitation movie from the 70s. And the guy who played Willie D, he's playing a pimp, but he was mostly famous for having been one of the original cast members of Sesame Street. And they give him some of the best costumes that you will ever see in a 1970s movie. Like, just look up Willie Dynamite. I think the movie's actually called Willie Dynamite. But he has some amazing costumes in this movie. It's all about him learning the errors of his ways, and it ends with him deciding not to be a pimp anymore, and then he's just walking down the street. And I always like to think that it's a prequel to Sesame Street, because he's moving on to, he's done with his old ways. Now he's gonna go live with a bunch of Muppets. He's got a theme song too. He's got a really good, there's a really good Willie Dynamite theme song that I don't remember at all, and I'm not going to listen to because I don't care. I'll probably listen to it eventually, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen Willie Dynamite. It's been a long time since I've heard that name. Alright, that's too dark for that. It's fine now. Kinda looks crazy. Ugh, you see what I have to put up with? It's getting really hard to keep this balance. I need to start, like, I'm gonna go in with the eraser again pretty soon. I'm just gonna keep laying it down, and then, like, hopefully after that, the details will just sort of fill themselves out. No, I wanted this section to be messy, but I'm gonna lay down this one hard line here, along with some others. There's gonna be some others, because it can't all just be a blurry, shadowy blob. Only most of it can be that. Some of it has to still actually look like what it's supposed to be, so I'm probably gonna also drop a hard line here and just erase the rest of this pretty soon, maybe. See, like these like jutting parts are all gonna get erased later. And I know that now, but I just wanna lay, like I said, I just wanna lay down a dark layer of just a bunch of dark graphite blobs that I can then carve highlights into. And I think that will look super. I'm really looking forward to that. I think it will look super duper. Dude, I love yoga. This yoga instructor at the YMCA across the street from me does this thing where she has us lay down at the end of a session, and we like progress our way onto our back, and we stretch on our back, and then we just like lay down with all of our limbs out, and then she walks around with essential oils and gives us like, she'll like pull your head out, or she'll pull your head away from your shoulders and your like legs away from your hips, and it'll like stretch you out, and you'll feel like the blood flow is just like so nice. And then like you catch a whiff, like I'm catching whiffs of the essential oils on my shoulder while I do this. It's like so good, man. If you haven't ever done yoga, I recommend you try doing it. It's great. All right.